Hello everybody, it's Christine. It is day 18 of this controlled chaos I call my 30 days of sketches project this month. I don't know how you guys are doing if you're doing it. I'm not staying up on time. I usually get so far ahead and then I'm just a bit cocky. You know, I can get all 30 done. And this month I am struggling just with life and stuff. And then honestly, I've missed some hops. I've scheduled them the wrong days. I just had a really messed up project here, or process here. Okay, so here's our sketch for today, day 18. It's also Mad About Mini pads. So I've got this Bow Bunny because I have a Bow Bunny stash bash. Now my Bow Bunny stash bash, I usually get over into my boxes over there where there's like, you know, my really old stuff. But because it's Mad About Minis, I thought, you know, I do know I have this old pad, which I did. It's a 2018, so it's a little newer than the stuff I've kind of worked on, but it's still kind of old. So it's this Floral Spice, which is really pretty. It's got this neat little like coral and dark purples and teals, which coral and teal is one of my favorite color combos. So this is a gorgeous piece of pad here. I grabbed out some Vicky Bouton embellishments. I went ahead and sorted them. I was smart on this one. And then my titles are here. I don't know what I'm going to use yet. I probably had one in my mind. I don't remember. Here is the sketch. So we have the photo in the middle, and then there's like, there says journaling or plain paper, it says, although, you know, you can do whatever you want, and pattern papers. Now the only thing is my Mad About Minis is not going to be this long, so we'll play with that. The title, she's kind of gotten a curl here. That says ink fuzzed edges before gluing to page. And then there's like ephemera and stuff. So again, sketches are for inspiration, so we're not going to sit and worry on it too much if it's not long enough or whatever. But if I look at this, I'm going to do it in this. This is my daughter, by the way. This is one of her what they call beauty shots. So we'll put it about here, and then we'll pick a few pieces of paper. Obviously, she's kind of got this purple, and I love that because her lips are kind of a like coral, and then her purple eyeshadow. I think this one's pretty. I kind of like these birds. And I may have to do like two pieces or something going across. We'll see. I'm not really looking at the dots for this one. Maybe a solid will help. It's kind of interesting. It's got owls on it. And I don't know if I need really many more. Okay, that's kind of repeating. Oh, I guess it repeats like 3 or 4 times in here. So, okay. Maybe I'll grab this one. All right, let's just see what we got here. Because again, I think what I'm going to have to do, I mean, she's got journaling, but I don't know that I'm going to do journaling in a way. Because I don't, there's not a lot to say other than it's a beauty shot from a model shoot. I mean, I have so many model photos. It's not like, I don't know what she's doing. Let's say she's calling that an inch. Let's see. What if we're calling that an inch? And then I almost have to, because it goes over a little bit longer, right? Let's just do another inch, and then I'll probably have to snip it. Not snip it, but like trim it. And we may get a visitor in a second. We'll see. Miss Cleo is in a mood this morning. My husband calls it the rockets. You know, normally we call it the zoomies. That's a little too tall. How did I manage to do that? I don't know how I did that. Is this one the same? Maybe this one was too short. How did I do that? This one's the same. This one's a little too short, I guess. Okay. That's all right. Yeah, my husband calls them the rockets. Because she just acts like a crazy kitten. Oh, well, that's not going to match exactly. Maybe I should do it with this one. Because it might make a little more, less, it may be visually less, like, weird looking. It's not perfect. I don't know. Did I do that again? You guys, what am I doing? It's like the first one is not exactly an inch. I don't know how I'm doing that. okay. We'll just go with those. All right, so if we do that, I'm gonna have to tweak it, I guess. I'll have to just, I'm gonna estimate this for a second, because then I can come up with, I mean, I do like this one here. You know, maybe I'll even adjust this and cut one exactly the same. All right, so if I do that, I could come up this way. And then, I don't know, I may tweak this actually. Let's see. Because I don't, they're all 6 inches. They're all, I'm a little concerned about my, oh, I see. It isn't technically a whole 6 inches. That's interesting. Look, it's just a hair under. That's why I keep messing up. Okay. So we'll come to here. You know, maybe I'll just do them like this on purpose, so it looks like it's on purpose. And I can even come, I don't know why I'm fastened so much with this, you guys. Yeah, that's just a hair under. That's so crazy. I need to kind of come up here. And then, oh shoot, I got off. Shoot, shoot. Can I tell? Maybe I can't tell. And then I feel like I still need one more. Do I have another pattern? Did I pull another pattern? I could pull the birds again. I mean, it doesn't have to be. I'm kind of having to mess with this because of my 6x6 situation, but that's okay. I'll bring that in. That's not bad. I can even cut a little more in here. Because I can bring it down a little bit. Maybe this goes like this because it's a different width. Okay. It's not a perfect match, but no, we'll make that work. Okay, and then I'll get my ephemera in a second. So let me kind of get my stuff organized here where it's, I want it to look intentional that these aren't touching. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, okay, that's on purpose as opposed to that doesn't match. So let me do a little bit of cutting here, just a snippet, and I'll be back on. And I think I need to mat this. I'm trying to decide. Let me get into this here. Let's see. It's too short, these papers, so I'd have to kind of make it. That's kind of cool. Let me find the other wood grain. And then I can make it Cleo. Sweetie. And by the way, y'all, I should drop a picture. She got all into my ribbon this morning and completely strode it across the room. All right, let me do a little cutting. I'll be back on in a second. You guys, I think this turned out so simple yet so pretty. I can't get over it. I did decide to go ahead. She showed almost like, I think her comment, I think I read it to you, was like ink the edges or scuff the edge, something like that. I didn't do it to strips, but I did go and do this little doodle edge on my craft paper here. And then I have glued down my strips. Now you can kind of see I have little breaks in them because, of course, again, I'm working with a 6x6 paper pad. But I think it looks kind of neat. It looks intentional, so I'm not going to be sad about it. And I think this turned out really pretty. Now I've got this little cut file here because it was laying, I've already used it once. I don't know how, I forgot she gave me two. It was actually in, It was in that patriotic paper pad I used on yesterday's layout. So I pulled it out and I'm like, oh, I don't need that in there. But I had laying there and I thought, well, I need a circle, and it was perfect for doing this title. I'm using these little foam titles, or they're like rubbery ones, and so they're very easily like curvy, if that makes sense. Like they just kind of like curl really easily. So what I did is I put it around with just touching like the bottoms to the little craft paper, so I could pull out this little circle thing so it doesn't it's not stuck to it. It's just kind of, I pull it out from behind it. And now I've got my little circle, and I think this looks great. And then I have my ephemera over there, and I was really proud of myself for having gone through and picked these out in advance, because otherwise I would have probably been thumbing through a book and frustrated with myself in a way. But these worked really well. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and tell you it's like thematic. It doesn't like necessarily, I say that, and I kind of intentionally picked paintbrushes and stuff like that because she's, got makeup on. It was my thinking behind the whole deal. It was like her face has been painted with this makeup, I guess is my thought. So I'll use a few pieces there. The little nature there, it just, it says nature, but it's got that little green color in there. And then, here's my little paintbrushes. At first I start to stick that paintbrush pointing that away, and I go, well, it's just not right to me. So I reverse that, and I'm covering up little pieces of openings and different things. It's just curling around the photo, and I think this turned out really pretty. There's these little buttons. Again, it's not exactly thematic by any means, but I think it looks really pretty, and I was really pleased with how this turns out. Again, it was very simple, and I shouldn't say I would have never done this design, because I have done L designs, or like, I've used scraps in a way to create an L, so I'm not going to say I would never do this, but this is definitely something I'm not sure I would have thought to do with this photo, or with mini pads for that matter. So I really enjoyed this sketch. So that is all my layout, you guys. It didn't take me long, so I'm grateful for that. And I think it turned out really pretty. It's just simple, and it really, I think, highlights the photo. So thank you guys so much for watching. I'm going to try and catch up a little bit more. I doubt that I will. I have to travel for a day, or basically 2. So your girl is dog pedaling in the pool, y'all. Dog pedaling in the pool. So anyway, I hope y'all saw that picture of Cleo in the middle of all my ribbon too. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye.